Winning in Teamfight Tactics can sometimes come down to really thin margins. The difference between having just one star level or one extra unit on the battlefield can be the deciding factor.
That's right. Even the smallest changes to your gameplay can have major effects down the line. This episode is dedicated to all the little tips and tricks that can give you a big edge.
This is Teamfight Tactical Report. All right, we are 1 week into the ranked gameplay in TFT, and every single week has been bringing new challenges and big shifts to the meta. It's very exciting. Now, through all of that, we want to be a show that can help teach you some top-down lessons, things that will, in general, always work. So let's dive into it. 5 top tips and tricks to help you win more in Teamfight Tactics.
All right, without any preamble, tip number 1, it's the extra unit trick.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, after each carousel round, if you use this trick, you can actually get an extra unit onto the battlefield. You know how, like, if you're level 6, it'll say, like, 6 out of 6. You can be 7 out of 6.
Oh.
And not use a force of nature, not use the double spatula thing. And the way you do it is, if the round before the carousel round, you fill up your bench and you fill up your battlefield, so there's no place for a unit to go. Then you go to the carousel round and you pick a unit. Well, they have to give you that unit, and they have to put it somewhere. And if your bench is full, it'll just get put onto the battlefield, and you will, for that moment, be 7 out of 6 units.
It's going to count towards your extra synergies, so if you do pick a unit that you want. So yeah, that's a way to cheat an extra unit on the battlefield, and this is as designed. This is how they want it to be, because there is a downside.
Yeah, and they didn't want that unit to just go away. That would be really feel bad. And what else are they supposed to do? Like, where can it go?
Right.
They do make some downsides with this trick. So once you pick the unit, it goes on the battlefield, and you have the extra unit, you can't move units around anymore.
Yep, they're stuck in place.
They're stuck in their position. And also, as soon as you create an empty spot on your bench, then that unit will jump up onto your bench.
Yeah, I think it actually chooses the bottom left unit on the battlefield, just automatically sucks them to the bench. So you don't want that to happen. You also cannot switch units from your bench onto the battlefield at that time. So sometimes this is super worth it. Sometimes you get an extra unit, it's going to add that glacial bonus that you needed. Other times you only pick the unit for the item. So the unit's just sort of fodder. Just another thing to die on the battlefield in the next round. But it can be the difference in winning or losing your next fight.
I've had plenty of games where I know it's coming up, I prepare for the extra unit trick, and usually I do it on the, the third carousel, where the first time you see the $5 units. And you're like, if I can grab a Yasuo or an Anivia,
just get it out there.
And it doesn't even matter if it goes with my comp. It's just an extra $5 unit that I have that nobody else has that many units yet. And it can just be enough that you're like, I'll just take my hands off the wheel for 2 rounds here.
See what happens.
And I'll accrue some interest, and the advantage I've gained by that one unit is worth it.
Yeah, now this is, buyer beware, this is still a little buggy. At times, I've tried to do this where it's like, okay, the units have started fighting, I'm going to sell a unit on my bench and very quickly buy one. And as soon as I do it, if you do it before they start fighting, sometimes the unit jumps back to your bench. Other times, I've had the unit ghost around the map when I tried to do it, and it just and none all die if every unit but that one dies. So it doesn't count anymore, and then all of a sudden you can't fill up the bench spot. So the game is still a little buggy when you try and do that. So don't try and abuse it too hard.
It's not a bug, though. Like you said, it's a feature. It is supposed to be there. And I find the best way to do it is the unit goes out on your board, and you just don't try and do anything.
Yeah.
Don't reroll, don't buy anything, and just say, for this round, that one unit, I'm going to hope it gives me the extra advantage I need to win a couple fights. And then once I start moving stuff around, I'm going to give up that advantage and move towards synergy with my comp or whatever, and just bank the extra gold that I got or whatever.
Usually you're close to leveling anyway, so sometimes to be like, you know what, I like that unit so much, I'm going to level up anyway.
It is a cool one, though.
Yeah.
Cool trick.
All right, tip number 2, and this is one that Josh and I both looked at each other yesterday and went, hey, you know what I do a lot that's really bad?
I am horrible at following this tip.
Yeah, so creep rounds are for econ, not for buying well, it can be for buying, but not for re-rolling. So creep rounds happen every 6th round of the stage. You're fighting an NPC, and you're usually going to win those fights. So you want to be building your economy into the round and also out of the round.
Yes.
Because every time you hit the reroll button, it costs you 2 gold. And that's something you don't want to do if you know you're going to win the fight and you're not desperately searching for something or trying to upgrade your team comp. So don't reroll when you're going into a creep round or when you're coming out of it, because you'd rather have that 30 or 40 gold to get you that extra bonus.
You really need to be looking up at that round chart. So what round you're at. You're at 3-2. You know the carousel's coming at. You're at 3-4. You know that you're going to fight a PvP, and the next one's going to be a carousel round. And that's when I start going like, okay, I'm going to start saving money it used to be we would save money early and often.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're looking for spots to maximize a little bit of resources because it's so aggro and we're spending money. So I'm like, if I can get to 20 gold by the time the creep round starts, that means I'll win the creep round fight. They're very easy now. Once you've figured it out, you know if you're going to win them. And then I'm guaranteed to get that interest. And you get a free reroll basically after the creep round.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason to reroll during the creep round.
Yeah.
But what I do and why it's so bad is I'll get excited. So
Yeah.
the creeps will come up.
You're like, oh, I have a breath.
Yeah.
I can take a breath here.
Yeah.
What can I build?
Yeah. The creeps will come up and it's a creep round. And I look down and I'm like, Kennen, grab the Kennen. Crap, I'm at 17 gold.
Yeah, what do I do now?
Sell something. And then you're like, reroll. Why'd I do that? Why did I
Well,
reroll?
you were at 22 now.
Yeah,
You could
now
go-
I just wasted 2 gold that could have been 3 gold because it put me below the interest rate. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I do is really bad. I build items before I kill the creeps.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
you know, I'm gonna make this item right now, and I kill the creep, and the recurve bow comes off. I'm like, why did
Yeah.
I ever jump the gun in a no pressure situation?
Just wait to see what
Yeah.
you were going to get. Also, yeah, the creeps can give you gold. So
exactly, they can help you
even if
get
you're at
past that.
35, you probably shouldn't be spending down to 30 unless there's a really great unit you need because you could get 5 gold and then you'll be at 40 and then you'll get the interest.
You could even get 3 gold and sell off a 2-cost unit that you didn't need.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So creep rounds are for econ. Start looking at that round indicator for where you are. Get ready for the creep rounds and you're doing targeted economy resourcing basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
All right, tip
TER.
Tip number 3, build a full item on your bench unit. So this happens a lot where like, especially like you've grabbed a unit off the carousel and it has like a BF sword or something on it. And then you want to create an item on it, but because it has the BF sword, if you drop a Negatron on it, you're going to get this item, but you really want, you know, a combined item onto it that doesn't include the BF sword and it gets all like hairy.
Yeah.
Like, how do I handle this?
Yeah, how do I get a full item on them if yours has half an item on them? So your bench units are the places to do this. Think about them as expendable item holders.
Yep.
If there's like a 1-cost Elise, I'm like, all right, I'll buy that. I'll drop the 2 things on it, make the item, just sell the unit off, and then drag the item onto the unit I want. It's a great way to do it without having to accidentally combine an item when you're not supposed to, which has happened to many people now.
Yep.
It's just more convenient. And it's the way to do it.
Also, I usually play with like the item cheat sheet chart up.
Yes, you absolutely have
It's
to.
on my phone or it's up. Well, in a pinch, if I've forgotten to open it or whatever, you can drop the item and then drag the other items over the
Over
bench
to
item,
see
just
it,
see
yeah.
what it creates and then sell the item.
Do not
Just-
misclick, though.
Yeah, just to figure out what you can create. Do the item cheat sheet thing, but if you forget or something else is happening, you can sort of quickly solve that problem for
Yeah.
now.
You can do it
by
on the
doing that.
bench as well, dragging it over them and then putting it back down and doing the other ones to see what combinations you can make. Another small mini tip as part of this tip, if you build the double spatula for an extra unit, you can have that equipped to a bench unit and you'll still get the +1 unit bonus on the battlefield.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
so sometimes it's like, oh crap, I want to put this on someone. I don't know who to put it on. I might put items on this I want to get full. You can just put it on a free bench unit and it will give you the +1 onto the battlefield.
Oh, interesting. There was
Very
a while there, I think they fixed it where the item that zaps them 200 damage when they cast a spell,
It
that worked
also
from the
worked
bench.
on the bench too, yeah. That's probably not the case now,
That
but I
doesn't work
believe
anymore.
Force of Nature is working as intended there.
All right.
Tip number 4. This one's really important. Maybe the most important tip out of the entire thing today. What level you should be at when you're re-rolling for desired units. So the last time they updated the drop rates was on July 1st. They released a graphic online. And it basically says, if you're at this level, this is the percentage chance you're going to see a unit from this level every time you hit that reroll button or it refreshes to a new round.
It also tells you how many units
Yes.
of that level are in the card pool
Yeah.
at
So,
any given time. Yeah.
Level 1 and 2, you have a 100% chance to see tier 1 units, for example. And by level 9, that number actually goes down to 10%. And it's spread across the other levels, whereas in tier you have a 10% chance to see a tier 5 unit, but you have to be at level 9 to do that. And so we're going to show the graphic on screen, and you can also check it out at home. But this means that there are going to be certain levels that are ideal if you're going for an Akali, which is a level 4 unit. You should never be doing it at level 5 because you only have a 3% chance. If you wait a level, that number jumps to 10%. That's over 200% from the original.
That's over 300%.
300%, yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to be waiting to level 6, for instance, to go for level 4 units.
Yeah, the $1 units and the $2 units, basically, as you level up, your chance to see them goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the $3 and up units, as you level up, your chance to see them goes up. Now, tier 3, the $3 units, they kind of plateau when you're at level 7 and they don't go up anymore. but the 4-drop units and the 5-drop units just continue to get more likely for that you'll see them as you level up. So
this also goes the opposite way. If you're trying to 3-star a level 1 unit, you should not be waiting until level 7 or 8 to do it, because then you only have a 10-15% chance to actually see that unit. You want to probably be doing it by level 5 when you have a 37% chance, or level 4 when you have a 50% chance.
That's what I was going to say, is that it's actually harder to 3-star tier 1 units than it used to be, and harder than it seems, because as you progress through the game, you see less tier 1 units. Tier 2 and tier 3, the $2 and $3 units, are actually the easiest to 3-star. Because they stay relatively flat and are still available, and you still see a lot of them even when you're up in level 7, level 8. Whereas the tier 1 units, the $1 units, you just start seeing very few of them. So that's why a lot of times people are like, geez, I just need one Elise. I've needed one Elise for like 7 rounds.
Yeah.
That's because you only have a 15% chance to see your tier 1 units once you're level 8. Yeah.
Yep. And also notably, this graph says there's going to be 39 units of each champ at tier 1, and it takes 9 champs to level up to level 3. So that at tier 1, you can actually have 4 different players having the same champion at level 3. Now that number is going to go down and down in terms of the likelihood the more people are doing it, but that just gives you a general idea. There's only 10 units of each champ at level tier 5, and there's only 13 of each champ at tier 4. So once you get into those higher numbers and you see other people building units too, you really don't want to be chasing after the same things, because your chances are going to be abysmal.
And if you take like a brand out of the pool, it's way less likely they're going to be able to find one, because there's just not very many $4 units.
Yeah,
just
1
that
out
are
of
seen
13
at any time.
is much better than 1 out of 39 in terms of your effect on the game.
Yeah.
So study these charts and create your own tips from them, honestly.
Yeah, and we're going to have that in the video, but you can just look up champion drop rates by
Or
level.
follow us at TF Tactical on Twitter, where we will tweet this out for sure, maybe even pin it on the page, but it's going to be in our media section on Twitter for sure.
All right, tip number 5 is you can buy similar costed units when you're re-rolling to increase your chance of finding the unit you want.
Bingo.
So what happens is, the way the card pool works, if you take a card out of the card pool, then the card pool generates another random unit in that slot, right? So if you want to find an Akali, let's say, you can start buying the other 4-drop units and then just immediately selling them before you re-roll. So you see a Gnar, you buy it, you sell it, then you re-roll. And what you're doing is you're trying to increase the number of Akalis that are possible out there, because another 4-drop unit is going to get put in the pool.
And just holding on to them and then re-rolling or going through rounds if it's not affecting your econ too much is great. So it just says that, like, look, let's say there was a 1 in 10 chance of seeing a Akali. Now, when you take another champ out of the pool, that's a 1 in 9 chance. That's not the right math, but that's the idea, is that you're giving it your chance. You're giving yourself the best shot at finding the champ you want, because you're buying the similar costed units out.
Now, the problem here is that you're also making other people more likely to find what they need, because you're basically doing it for them too.
Or maybe you're taking their pool, but if everyone's looking for the Akali and you're all doing this, someone's going to hit it.
It's just who gets lucky at that point. But if somebody's looking for brand and you're looking for Akali, but you're doing this, you do up their chance of finding brand also.
Unless you're taking brand out of the pool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is a way, and I usually do it with like 2s and 3s a little more. It's just buy all the 2s I see because I need that Zed or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Bonus tip number 6. You didn't think you were getting 6 tips, but you are, and this one came
This one's
up
free of charge.
Free of charge, absolutely. But what you should also do is follow us at TF Tactical, because we have so many more tips we didn't talk about today. Okay, the bonus tip is don't exit out immediately when you lose, especially if you're like top 4. I think it's really valuable sometimes to watch how the end game plays out, and also like look at the comps. Ask yourself, hey, of these 2 comps, which one's going to win and why? And then watch the fight, see if your predictions came true. See what the other person is doing to build or reposition, and see how it affects the final fights. Because I'd say that's one of the hardest parts of the game, is making it through those last 3 people and trying to figure out how you're going to power spike past them to win the game.
Well, also think about when you lose. I think a lot of players, do you know why you lost, and what is your plan to change that moving forward so you don't lose as much? If you can't understand what it is that's causing you to lose, that's how that's how you plateau and you don't get any better. I really like seeing what beats the comp that I was having trouble with, because like, it can be really hard. Like, oh, assassins are just murdering me every time. Well, what are you doing to change that equation? Are you just immediately starting another game, then losing to assassins again? You got to change how you're playing to be able to beat. Maybe you got to go Yordles or whatever.
Yeah.
If you watch the game, maybe the assassin player doesn't win, and you can see what beat them, and you can be like, oh, so I know that comp is good against this or whatever.
These items specifically have a huge edge over them.
And you can also just tend to see like, oh, I did this 5 times, and 4 of those times ninjas won. Maybe I should be playing ninjas more.
I want to play ninjas. Don't take them away from me. All right, that's it. 5 quick and easy tips and 1 bonus
6.
one. Yeah, 6 quick and easy tips. Chips. on the table.
Yes.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at TF Tactical. Again, that's where we keep up to date and tweet about comps, retweet comps as well. So if you want a little exposure about your sweet 11-person double Force of Nature comp, let us know.
I like everybody that tweets at us and says, I won with this.
Yeah.
And because it's just, again, a good snapshot of what's winning.
Yeah, and it's a great way to look at the top list, be like, oh, the faster you can be like, okay, they had this and this. Cool. That helps you out. Get better game knowledge.
I'm at Josh Lee Kwai. He is at JF Wong. And you can find all that info in the show notes if you don't want to memorize it.
And let us know in the comments below or on Twitter or even tweet at us directly or the show or whatever. Tell us what you liked about the episode, if it works, if it doesn't work, and what you want to have us discuss next on the show.
Oh, yeah. We are looking for future topics. So if there's something that you would like us to talk about, let us know.
Yep. All right. Our editors for the show are Andrew Manligas and me, myself, Jimmy Wong. Make sure to check out Game Nights and the Command Zone podcast, which is Josh and I's other main venture. It's fun.
Yeah, if you like gaming, you don't even have to understand Magic. I think you'll like our show, Game Nights. That's Nights with a K. Just type it into YouTube. It will pop right up.
Yep. All right. Well, that does it for this week's episode of Teamfight Tactical Report. We'll see you out there on the battlefield.